go take a shot for that. And pray a mass for that. Go every friend for that. Oh yeah, just talk about me. Let me take a shot for that. And pray a mass for that. Go every friend for that. Oh yeah, I just need an excuse to drink rum. I just need an alibi. Just give me a reason why. Just give me an excuse to play mass. I just need an alibi. Just give me a reason why.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated mornings on
We're back. Erase, you know that? Rusty. You know that?
Yeah, yeah. No. Rusty.
Yeah.
How about the rest of that song? I just said Rusty.
Why not? All right, that's enough of that. Adidi and Roro pan activated mornings. Yes, so come on, man. Hey,
you get through this morning. You get through.
Come on.
Congratulations. I really. Rajiv, so I'm sending a message to Rajiv through the airways. Please download an applause effect for me. Right? Let's just keep an applause effect on standby. Thank you very much for these mornings when Dianna actually gets to rhyme properly.
Wonderful. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please fulfill the lady's wish, Rajiv. Thank you. Now we are in our final talk segment of the morning on Activated Mornings here on WEFM. With Roleza and Dianna. This is our talk to us. And talk to us, that means talk to we some more than you've been doing for the morning. I know some persons were trying to call earlier to give their opinion on a topic. Now, feel free to do that right now. Now is the time for that. Or if you just want to hear our opinions on something new, you want to bring up something new, the flow is yours. Well, the line is yours. Feel free to call us 457-9997. 457-9997, and you can get us on the landline if you have credit, and if you don't have credit, that's fine, because you can get us on WhatsApp, and we already have our caller. So good morning to you, Kojo.
Good morning. I had a problem with the fella just now who said God will change his mind, and I want to ask him one question. God said do not kill, but then he sent his only begotten son, they say, to die on the cross. So the person who killed him, what happened? Because that was supposed to be a plan that God had. He sent his son to die for us. Let me see. So how the son was gonna die? Somebody had to kill him. But then in the other part of the Bible, he said, "Don't not kill." So the point is that like marriage is not ordained in the Bible. There's no such thing ordained in the Bible about marriage. People making up all them stories about marriage. You go to the whole entire Bible, you must know how marriage is supposed to be conducted, how it's supposed to happen, and nothing.
Okay, this is listen. I stay away from these conversations because I can't quote scripture. I don't know the Bible in and out, so I can't defend nothing. So,
but I don't understand why people. I mean, like today, in today's world, you're telling me that a woman, the only way you could divorce your husband or your wife is if you all go outside and cheat on each other. But I could beat you up and almost kill you, and you have to stay there.
Yeah. I think that's like
what kind of God is that then? If you're telling me that I have to come close to death, be killed, and I can't get out.
Yeah, and it's not just so much getting out. You could get out. Based on what the caller said, you can get out, but it's just that you can't remarry, which to me is,
But even the Bible say that when a woman husband died, she's supposed to marry the husband brother. That's in the Bible.
Yeah.
You could tell her mother and the woman know that she have to marry she husband got her when he died.
Yeah, Bold and Beautiful.
my
We've seen
God.
this happen a lot, Kojo. Remember Bold and Beautiful back in the day? Come on, we've seen this happen.
Oh, okay, well, I never got involved in that.
Serious? You missed out on a significant portion of your life, Kojo. Come on, scandal.
Another thing really short. That 5 months thing there, don't tell me that man just started doing what she clearly did.
Yeah.
Some people has the notion that they need to get married, and when they get married, they realize that the man ain't changing or the woman ain't changing. Because a lot of people think, when you get married, they're gonna change. There's no such thing.
Yep.
A shot is a shot. A pants is a pants.
You want to think it might just get worse?
They're gonna get tear up.
Yep, it just get worse.
The pants will get tear up on the holes.
Yep. That's exactly it.
So, I mean, let's put our joke aside. People do change. But they mostly change because they see certain things in the person and make them change. Because trust me, if you truly love someone, you'll grow with them, you'll change.
You find a way to adapt, I think so, yeah.
You're right. Because as you said earlier, there's two different people coming into a house to create a home, to create and so it always has to give and take. Is when one person does not see it that they need to give in terms of changing, that is when the problem comes. Because relationship is that I see the things that is not working between you and I explain it to you, then you change. I ain't expect you to change like instantly because everybody think everything is like instant coffee these days, everything's supposed to just happen 1, 2, 3. Well, no, things is a progression. People change within time, and you have to give it time for it to happen. If you don't give it time, then you won't be in a relationship for long. You think them people who have been married for 60-something years and they didn't go through all this thing too? They go through that thing, but they give it time, and after over time, they don't care what's happening outside anymore. They're happy inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Kojo.
All right.
All right. Thanks. Okay. All right. So we have somebody else on the line. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, lady.
Oh, morning. Josh, listen. You're confusing me. Right? I'm looking for you on the WhatsApp call that they call directly. Good morning, Joshua.
Yeah. Well, I called directly because remember I said I'm a fornicator, so I don't know whether I dialed the direct number or the WhatsApp number,
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't matter.
All right.
It's money anyway. My wife pays the bills. It would be remiss of me if I didn't make this call. I am not an expert, but I've been married twice. My first marriage lasted 3 years. This one, 40 years and counting. Now, feel free to interrupt me and ask any question you'd like to ask, but I just can't sit back and listen to misinformation being handed out. Now, I hope I don't put her in a spot. I do not know her personally, but there's Dr. Joselle Miller. I don't know her married name.
I don't think she's married.
Not that I know of. I only know her as Joselle Miller.
Yes, if you could get it to come on your station, she would be of great help. Now, you might be wondering, why did one marriage last 3 years and another one lasted 40? Now, my first wife, I did not even like the woman.
Well, clearly that's why you got divorced.
Right? Now, the second one, when we were about to get married, the pastor we went to, now the church I was going to, they wouldn't marry me because I was divorced. They like this Bible stuff they talk about, I have my own views on that. The pastor who agreed to marry us, he said, I am only going to marry you guys if you go through my period of counseling. We had close to 3 months of counseling. and he covered everything. Now, I had some bad habits. I lived alone, so I'd come home and I'll start undressing at the door. I drop my boots, my pants, and then you could follow straight to the bedroom. Now, when I met my Mrs. Richardson, well, Yolanda, she was Mrs. Richardson then, she would come up to help me clean up. My apartment was never dirty, but it was like junky. And she would get the vacuum. She would pick up my boots, and she'd vacuum under the boots, and she'd put it back. She'd pick up my pants, she'd vacuum, she'd drop it back, and so on. So I looked at her and I asked her one day, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm vacuuming." I said, "No, you're not. You're just leaving the stuff on the floor." Ladies, my wife looked at me. She has the most beautiful smile in the world. But all I saw was fire. He said, "Let's get one thing straight. I am not your maid. If we ever get married, I'm not your maid now. I would not be your maid then. I would never ever be your maid." Now, this amazing lady would sometimes help me with the laundry. I say me because I was single then. And she'd never pick up anything that was on the floor. No knuckles on the floor. When I question her, she'd say, "If it's not in the hamper, I'm not going to touch it. If I do touch it, it goes in the trash." Now, when we got our counseling, I hope this is helping listeners. When we got our counseling, this guy covered everything. I think I shared it on your show before. You know, the toothpaste now, I'm certain a woman invented that. Because the way you squeeze your toothpaste, the way you hang the toilet roll, inside or outside. When you're in the kitchen, the blinds, not blinds, what do you call them things? When you go to cloth.
The towels? The tea towels?
The what?
Do you leave the toilet seat up or down?
Oh,
All these things you have to cover. You must cancel because Roleza mentioned red flags. You don't wait until you get married for the red flags. Deal with the red flags before you get into the marriage. Now, my marriage is still not perfect. When my wife met me, she knew that I loved the media. There was no internet yet. It was newspapers. I would write like a dozen letters a week to the newspaper. I've done radio every day. That is not her thing, but she knew that. She had this bad habit. When we go out, she loves tea. I mean, her name could have been Tina. And you know when you're drinking, there's that little drop that runs down the side of the cup. In public, this woman would embarrass me by licking that thing, and I would be so annoyed. And all of these things we covered. So 40 years later, I'm still a slob. I still drop my clothes on the floor. He still licks the little drop that comes on the side of the cup, but it doesn't bother me. And you know something, as recently as this morning, ladies, my wife knows that I am a grouch. Before she leaves, guess what this woman does to me? Just guess.
annoys you? I would annoy you for spite. I find something to annoy you.
She dropped an ice cube down my back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I am grumpy enough. She dropped an ice cube down my back. Now, that's a fight. But I looked at her and I smiled.
Okay. All right, Joshua.
So now it's not perfect. So we have to get counseling first of all. And please, if you know Dr. Miller, contact her. If there's a cost, and I'm saying it publicly, if there's a cost, let me know, and I will cover the cost for being on your show, because we don't just go quoting the Bible said this, the Bible said that. And Roleza, as I go off, you don't have to speak to God directly. When the Pharisees asked Jesus, should a man divorce his wife? Jesus' response was, in the beginning it was not so. But Moses, because of your disobedience, permitted it. So let us not misquote the scriptures and do not pick a random pastor to come on your show.
All right.
Dr. Miller.
All right, Josh.
He would offer some help.
All right. Thanks, Joshua.
Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
All right, then some what should I say? Some words of advice there from a man that's been married for 40 years and counting. All right, a little marriage advice there.
Yeah. All right. So he spoke about the instant coffee, and I think I think I made a point here that I think our generation, even worse yet, the generation behind me, they're just about instant everything, right? And we also term it. It's also being termed as the disposable generation. We're not the generation who tries to hold on to things, relationships included, right? So you find the little annoyance happening here, a person doing this or that you don't like, and
Bye.
yeah, it's goodbye. It's boy bye, right? It's always a boy bye moment. But that is another thing, relationships, you are not going to find the perfect person. There are going to be people who are out there who they're going to do things to annoy you. Sometimes you can't comment and criticize everything. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes. And for me, you pick your battles. All right. The person has declared that this is how they are, and these are the things that this is the way that they are. If it's something that you know for sure that you cannot live with, then don't proceed to the point of getting married. But you can't pick at everything and everybody, I honestly think that being annoyed has to be part of a healthy relationship, because I
agree with you, because I know I'll be the one annoying.
Oh, you'll be the annoying one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, it depends on who the person is, because if they got a sense of humor, then they'll probably be annoying me too. They'll be annoying each other.
Yeah, it's little things that I know that people would push trigger buttons. Like I've heard, well, it's like these two exes, and they would do things to the point to get me upset. And then when I'm visibly upset, they start to laugh, because apparently to them I look cuter when it is I'm upset. Mind you, I am highly annoyed, but to them it was amusing. So I know these two persons who used to push my buttons just to get me to that point, and it's like, you're killing up yourself, and they start to laugh. But it's these little things in relationships. Sometimes it helps to keep things going, and interestingly, these are the little things as well to that persons end up missing when they're out of the relationship, because it's like, this person used to do that another, but
I know what you speak of.
Yeah, but it's a rough road, I suppose. Relationships are rocky, but I think for me, it's just not losing the essence of who you are in the process of trying to adjust to whatever changes are you're going through in the relationship. Like, this is who it is. I know who I am. And this is the thing. These are the things that I stand for. Once you don't lose the essence of who you truly are, then, you find a way to adjust this. So.
Correct. And another thing, be careful who you seek advice from. I know a lot of us, well, a lot of the younger people tend to seek advice from people that are their age mates, But you see, like how Joshua just gave us some advice there, somebody who's not just talking because he's older, but he's actually in the marriage. He has gone through that, and he could, give us his words of encouragement, his words of wisdom. Sometimes as younger people, we need to go to older people, especially older people who we see with relationships that are working, that have worked. Okay, go right ahead, yeah.
Hi, caller, good morning.
Yeah, it's me again.
Okay.
I do not. This is try and get back from the Lord. That's my job.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, she and I we are well buddies. Every now and again I'll call her and I will have a nice chat. It will be lovely to have her on your program.
All right. Okay. So we hear a second endorsement. All right. We will try. Y'all, the pressure, it's the pressure. All right. No problem.
I hope your wish comes
true. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Mason.
Okay.
All right.
All right then. So right, as I was saying before that, we have to be careful where we look for advice. Sometimes, even though your friends are your friends, and yes, you can get advice from your friends on certain things, when it comes to certain other things, I believe that you ought to check, somebody who may be a little bit more older, a little bit wiser. All right.
I am in two minds with that, right? Because I think it might be good to get advice from multiple persons. You can get advice from maybe a trusted friend who's within your own age, and advice from somebody who's older than you, who may have gone through a different situation as well. Because one of the things that I note with older folks in particular, they believe in toughing it out, right?
Oh, yes.
Sticking up in a relationship that you're just not making no sense, right? And this is the other thing too, when a lot of times we romanticize older relationships, because you hear a person saying that they've been married for 50 something, 60 something, 80 something years. Ask Tanti how much boat she take. She got, right?
Yeah.
Ask Tanti how many times husband did not return home at night, right? How many times he may have disrespected her in different ways. So, for me, is a case of
the outside children
and all of that are, looked at as being second class or property within the home as a woman. So for me, sometimes it depends on who it is you ask. You have to ask for varying opinion, because there are some older folks who believe in just sticking up just because how it didn't look.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How would outside people
that
look,
line.
Right. So to me, get mixed opinions or mixed advice. And we're going to take this last call. Hi, caller, you have half a minute.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
That's fucking so true. Because listen to me, right? The younger folks don't settle for no less. You disrespect me, you rebut me. You disrespect me, you rebut me, I leave you. But the older folks now, used to have children outside, sleep outside, spend a whole weekend out and come back, and the older folks will accept you back. But the younger folks now, there's no nonsense. They don't stand no nonsense. That's why you have so much of divorce. And especially for young people. That's all I say.
All right, thank you. And just to end with that thing that the caller said, the reason why we're not sticking up for nonsense because we don't have to.
That is true.
We working for our own money. We working for our own things, so we don't have to. Although I know there's a flip side to this discussion, which I'm not getting into now, where men throw this back in our faces to say, the reason why y'all acting the ways that you are is because y'all have your own money, so you don't have to listen to us as men anymore. But we're not getting into that now.
Yeah, what she said, okay? So that brings us to the end of our discussion here this morning. It is now 9:46. That means that we got to go, and we won't be coming back for any more talk time until tomorrow. Okay, but we're gonna head into our community dateline right now.
99